So this is basically part in which we are going to discuss how to draw a nose. So we are not going to waste time as always. So let's just start this tutorial. First of all, we are going to take the KGF sketch of Rocky Bice. So of course he's watching on left hand side and the light source is directly on his nose. So of course darker parts will be on his right hand side, right? So we are going to start with the H pencil, make outlines first. So before making outlines, keep on focusing that your outline shouldn't be more darker. And as I always say that no part of any face or any skin texture is completely white. But what happens on the left hand side part of the nose is that the light source is directly on the nose. So of course it is creating a white look. But as I always say that no part is completely white. So you should use a H pencil to create those highlights as a complete white thing. So make outlines of everything possible, like the semicircle, also like nose semicircle, like the center part of the nose where a little bit more darker parts are going on, and the downside part of the nose also where a little bit more darker parts. As always, every nose has a darker parts inside nose and it is always visible. So apply a little bit pressure and make those parts also. Then for blending the base layer of H pencil, use your tissue, but keep on focusing that you shouldn't blend the outlines, because if you will blend the outlines, every part will be just in uniform and it will look like a skin texture or a flat. You won't be able to see the outlines. So next thing is that use 2B pencil for the parts which are a little bit more darker or a little bit more shadowed. If you can focus on the right hand side part of the nose, there are parts which are a little bit more darker and darker because those are in shades. So use 2B pencil and just shade them. Don't blend them right now. Next thing is that use 3B pencil for the parts like a completely right part of the nose where a little bit more darker parts are, and the downside part of the nose which are a little bit more darker, like there are complete shadows on those parts. So you can use a 3B pencil or you can also use a 4B pencil, but shade them. Just don't apply pressure and just make every part black. Use a shading technique to create those parts, and then finally blend all those parts using a blending stump, or you can also use a makeup brush or paint brush, whatever you have. And then after blending, again use a mono eraser to create highlights, like the center part of the part where the circular part nose is going on. So there are parts which are a little bit more highlighted where the light source is directly, so you can use a mono eraser to create those highlights. And then finally again use a 4B or 5B pencil for the downside part of the nose which are completely dark. And these are the basic things for creating any nose, and the same technique will be applied for the stone cold sketch and the final sketch of Doctor Strange also. So for the stone cold sketch, the nose is on the center, right, and more skin texture is visible on the nose. And the reason was that I was using a 4K and Ultra HD photo, so it was more details were visible. And the same thing will be applied for the Doctor Strange sketch also. I was having so many details but for the KGF sketch there was not much detail was visible for the nose. So I told you the basic things for any type of nose. I don't recommend you to use your pencils directly like 4B or 4B pencil directly for the darker parts and then go for 3B or 2B pencil. Always go from H pencil to darker pencils to up to 10B or 12B, whatever you want to go for darker areas. Just start upgrading your shading skills. Like if you can focus on the Doctor Strange sketch you are seeing right now, the right hand side part of the nose of Doctor Strange, there are more shadows. But what happens is that if you will just directly use 3B or 4B pencil to make those shadows, the lighter parts won't be blended with those things because lighter parts will be just white. And if you want to blend it with the darker parts like 3B or 4B pencil, it won't be blended. So use H pencil as the base layer, then upgrade your pencils with 2B pencil, 3B pencil, and go layer by layer. Layer by layer is the basic thing for sketching any type of real-time sketches, or not real-time, realistic sketches. So this was the basic things to create nose and to create any type of left hand side nose, right hand side nose, or center noses. So keep on focusing and make as sketches as possible and see the basic things of any nose. So till then, bye bye. So that was all for this tutorial. If you have learned something from this video, subscribe and drop a like. Comment down your question and queries regarding this tutorial. Meanwhile, take care of your loved ones too. Have an artistic day. Tattoos.